For the second straight week, this Houston Texans defense continues to show that it could be very promising. Granted, this is the preseason. We have to take these games with a grain of salt. But it's a really encouraging thing to see them doing 2 weeks in a row. I told you last week that what I want to see is consistency. Can they back it up against the Dallas Cowboys? They were going against the starting offensive line guys. Granted, there was no Dak Prescott or Zeke Elliott, but that offensive line is still good and it's still played. And the Houston Texans defense had success. The Cowboys were really not able to run the ball. Ross Blacklock, Jaleel Johnson, Malik Collins, those guys were absolutely eating up the middle. The Cowboys couldn't get anything going up the middle, and it was hard for them to get in sync because they had trouble running the ball. The linebackers were absolutely flying, everywhere. I love the combination of Zach Cunningham and Christian Kirksey. Both of these guys can honestly be leaders for the defense if we're being honest. They could get, up to multiple tackles. Can these guys get, seasons where each and one of them have 100+ tackles? You can absolutely see that. I love this combination, and it's something that we should look forward to seeing because both of these guys could do great things against the run. Both of these guys have the ability to drop back in coverage. I know last year it was Bernard McKinney, it was Zach Cunningham, and it was hard because what Zach Cunningham excelled at, McKinney couldn't do. What McKinney could excel at, Zach Cunningham couldn't do. This combination of Kirksey and Cunningham, they complement each other. It's going to be a great 1-2 tandem. And they showed it, it was really hard because they were flying everywhere. And the Cowboys really had to rely on passing the ball because we were forcing them in second and long and third and long, and that's when the pass rush started to get to him. That's when you saw players like Jacob Martin, force that fumble. You saw Charles Omenihu have a spectacular day, get 2 sacks. These are the type of plays from these type of players, honestly, that you want to see, including the pick 6 by Lonnie Johnson. It's encouraging because these are the players who you expected to have a breakout season last year. We thought that Jacob Martin was gonna finally get that, eight that 8+ sack season. We thought that Charles Omenihu, from working with DeMarcus Ware, were gonna come into his own. We thought that Lonnie Johnson was gonna find his home at safety, and it looked like it took a little longer. But all these guys throughout the offseason, throughout training camp, have been having a great time. They've been doing good. They've been progressing. They haven't done anything to show you that they are not going to have a breakout season. And it's encouraging to see, and it's encouraging for your defense because these guys are going to be the leaders. These guys, even though they're so young, they're the longer tenured players. Lonnie Johnson is a veteran. Charles Omenihu is a veteran. Jacob Martin is a veteran. Justin Reed is a veteran on this team. And they're all still so young, but that's the type of pressure that they have, and that's why it's encouraging to see them do it. Like I said, granted, it is the preseason, but that they're doing it because you hope that it could just translate onto the season. This whole Houston Texans defense as a whole, it's just a breath of fresh air from what it was last year. The tackling has gotten absolutely better. Last season, we had at least 10 missed tackles a game. We are wrapping up. Number 24, the cornerback, I don't know his name. He does get picked on a lot, but he does show that he is a feisty player, a great open field tackler, can get an interception. But like I said, he does get picked on a lot. This secondary is something that I want to see. I love Desmond King. We saw Bradley Rober have a great defensive block, even though the ball was thrown a little bit behind the wide receiver. Amari Cooper did play this game, didn't really get anything going. The Cowboys offense as a whole didn't really get anything going until that drive where they hit the tight end up the seam and then they scored on the screen. Similar to what the Green Bay Packers did last week. So, that's something that we have to pay attention to. But this whole defense as a whole, it's absolutely exciting to see them play as a whole. They look like they're having fun. They're absolutely flying. If the ones could do it, and the twos, and the threes, and the fours could do it, then this offense is going to be successful. Shout out to Lovie Smith, for for bringing this defense together. Shout out to Nick Casario, man, for really bringing competition, signing almost 10 plus linebackers, signing 6 defensive tackles, multiple defensive end, getting the absolute best cream of the crop for this Houston Texans team, because this team wants to be successful. They know that nobody expects them to win. That's going to be their big chip on their shoulder for the season. And this Houston Texans defense might surprise some people. Now on the offensive side, you saw some good and some bad things, right? Mark Ingram looks like he's going to be a very good player for the Houston Texans. I said it last week that Mark Ingram and David Johnson are going to convert that 3rd-and-1 that David Johnson cut it. Mark Ingram not only converted a 3rd-and-1, converted a 4th-and-1, scored down there in the end zone, in the red zone. He is a red zone monster. That's what you want to see. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. The 1-2 tandem is going to be Philip Lindsay and Mark Ingram. Hopefully, Scotty Phillips as well. Someone brought up the fact that I haven't really brought in Rex Burkhead. And that's only because to me, he's just a better version of David Johnson. And we didn't really see much of him until the 3rd quarter of the preseason game. That usually tells me that he's not really high on their list. We haven't really heard a lot of things about him in training camp. I still would like to see him make the team. I think he is better than David Johnson. I think he is better, or might be a little bit better than Scotty Phillips. Adds the factor that he plays with a lot of heart, and he has a knack for finding the end zone and finding the chains to move for the first down. This running back core is exciting. Tyrod Taylor, even though the Houston Texans, starting offense with him wasn't successful yesterday, it wasn't really his fault. When he got the ball on his first drive, they went down there and scored. On the opposing drive, Chris Conley dropped the 3rd down. So it really wasn't his fault why the offense wasn't successful. You wanted to see a little more good things due to them. But hey, only saw a small sample size from Tyrod Taylor. We're going to have to see more. We might not get it, so we can't really judge and base how good Tyrod Taylor will be doing this season based on this little amount of preseason games. In his first drive against the Green Bay Packers, he took him down. He scored. They should have converted that 3rd-and-1. They kicked the field goal in this game on the first possession due to the Jacob Martin forced fumble. Went down there, scored the touchdown. So 2 opening drives, you score a field goal, you score a touchdown. That's exciting things. That's 2 drives that we couldn't do last year, scoring opening drives. But like I said, it is a preseason. That's the hard fact about this thing, that you want to get excited about this team based on how they play, but these games don't count. There's no strategical, implement in this game. These guys are just trying to see who was going to make the 53-man roster. But nonetheless, the offense was okay. Davis Mills looked better. Not a lot better. Looked good. His longest plays completed were because of the play action. I love that as well. I was mainly paying attention to the offensive line because Titus Howard started at left guard. That's a video for tomorrow. He did a lot of good things. He created one of the holes where Mark Ingram scored down there. I did see a lot of Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck had another good game. He did impress. I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid on Charlie Heck yet. Because we don't know who's going to be the right tackle. Is it going to be Heck? Is it going to be Marcus Cannon? And because I do think the right guard might be right now owned by Max Sharpen. But it's going to be Cannon when he comes back, or they rock around Heck. I think for the formidable part, it's going to be Heck. But the offensive line, it did look good for the Houston Texans. Gave up a couple sacks, but they controlled the run game. They controlled the Dallas Cowboys defensive line. Overall, this was another good game for the Houston Texans. It's always fun when you beat the Dallas Cowboys. Let me know what you guys think. As always, go Texans. You guys have a blessed day.